In terms of leadership, what I think are really very important. The first thing I would emphasize is that every leader must have a genuine sense of empathy. In German, they use the term Bastehen, which means empathy simply means being able to put yourself in another person's position. For a leader to really serve, it's just like me as a teacher. I found that if you are teaching, sometimes the best way you can help the students is to put yourself in their situation. Okay, and sometimes when you put yourself in their situation, you will find out that some of the behaviors that you may initially think were just kind of crazy or disrespectful, but given the context or whatever. So the leader is generally somebody at the top there. Okay, and there's a huge gap between him and the person at the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, I remember when one of the British prime ministers went to see the Queen, she told him that she wants him to develop some other mechanism of understanding what is going on in the lives of ordinary people other than just the official sources. You understand what I mean? Just the official sources, because the official sources sometimes may not tell you the truth. So I want for the leader to have empathy. He needs to be able to, the leader must have empathy and be able to understand what the person at the bottom of the pyramid is. But if they are at the top there and they leave their own wall there, they are not going to be able to serve the person who is really at the bottom. Now, what are the mechanisms then for somebody to really do that? Sometimes in the United States, if you're a leader, if you come so low, people feel like, no, that's not good or whatever. Okay, so empathy is one of them. And then I think integrity is one of them, being honest. And what I mean by being honest is there are certain either public policies or things that we see in this country, I have read, that somebody cannot be honest and just say that these policies were aimed at helping ordinary American people. Okay, the real ordinary American person, because how can you sit down in Washington, D.C. or any country's capital for that matter and make a policy for somebody who is living in rural Appalachia, some parts of rural Appalachia, if you don't have an idea of really what the real situation is like that, okay? This idea of shared humanity. So what do I mean by shared humanity? It's not about being like somebody. I know some of us are Republicans, some of us are Democrats, some of us are Libertarians or whatever. But shared humanity simply means that in spite of the racial differences, in spite of our gender differences, in spite of our ethnic differences, it will make us come closer in terms of working together to solve our problems.